For RCR TV, I'm Sean Kinney, and we're here with an editorial recap live from day 2 of TM Forum Live in Nice, France, joined by our editor-in-chief, Dan Meyer. And, Dan, we were talking a little earlier before we got on the editorial call. There's so much buzz around network function virtualization and sort of a sense of urgency given to it, particularly by the software vendors that supply the solutions. But it seems to me that telecom operators and carriers are a long way away from really embracing the technology. What's your take on that?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's a really odd disconnect on this because from one angle, I hear a lot from people saying that unlike other technologies in the past for telecom, operators are really driving NFV. So there's a drive from operators for this, but you're right, the timing aspect of it is the strange part because a lot of the software-based vendors, the guys who are coming from the data center or IT space, seem to think that this can all move in thinking that NFV is ready to be deployed today and can be deployed by tomorrow, basically. So they've got this seemingly short time span on this, where you talk to some vendors, like today I talked to Ericsson, and they're a long-time telecom vendor, and I was talking to them about what they saw as the timing for the role of NFV. And the guy there was like, 10, 15, 20-year kind of time frame because there's so much legacy equipment already built into systems that to support that and to roll stuff out to support that's going to take so long to do that he had kind of this longer term view. I mean, he was telling me that, one of his operators, carrier operator partners, has equipment from 1969 that they, still in place that they have to support. I mean, this is equipment that's, 60, 50 years old, whatever it is, that they're going to have to somehow support that for the near future with the new system. So there's this kind of, this timing issue that's going to be huge and it's going to impact us. Because again, you're right. I mean, a lot of talk about this being now and today and ready, but the actual deployment of this is going to take, my view is going to take maybe not 20 years, but it's going to take 15. It's going to take a while to think about it. So it's interesting. I don't know what you've seen or what you've heard too.
Yeah, well, I had a long meeting today with the folks from Comptel. They're another a software provider focused on the telecom vertical based out in Helsinki. And they said that it would take a generation based on what they're observing. So but it's not to say that the pressure's not on. We live in an age where, Netflix and services like that over the tops, they provide almost instant gratification. So that's sort of what consumers have become acclimated to expect. But the reality seems very different from the sales pitch, if you will. And it's going to be really interesting to see who sinks and who swims as this really starts to take off. But it does have such a transformative potential, but not unless you can get this stuff deployed. But from the other side of that, I certainly do understand if you've got billions and billions of dollars tied up into legacy software systems, you've got to still get some return and some utility out of those. But in such a quickly evolving industry, staying relevant is the struggle there, right?
It's going to be the biggest challenge. You're right. I mean, that's kind of what they're working through. You're right, because you got these guys who are rolling stuff out in this fast fail model where they're just rolling stuff out, and if it doesn't work, well, no big deal. Telecom's a different story. I mean, it's so conservative. They've got these quality of service issues that they have to deal with. I mean, they don't roll stuff out unless they know they can support it and have good quality of service. So it's just a different mindset, and that's kind of been what I've noticed at the show is that there's still that challenge of trying to be this new dynamic fast fail kind of model, but still, in fact, you're dealing with telecom, which has this history. So that's kind of been the huge challenge for this. So it's going to be interesting to watch. I mean, obviously, the timing is interesting because change already happening in telecom and in wireless telecom. So if you're going to roll some new stuff out, now's the time to do it. But there's still so much in place already that has to be worked through that it's going to be fun, I think, from our point of view to watch it all happen because we get to watch it and kind of just cover it. But being inside these organizations dealing with this, it's got to be a challenge right now, I would say.
Yeah, so will we be having a similar conversation at TM Forum Live 2020, or do you think we'll have made some progress by then?
2025 probably as well. I don't know. I mean, it's again, 10 years from now, who knows what'll happen? I mean, 10 years ago, who knew we would be here where we are now? So it's hard to guess in this industry, but yeah, I'm guessing we'll have similar conversations for years to come.
All right, Dan. Well, I know that you've got some stories up from TM Forum, as do I, and as the rest of the editorial team. I encourage our viewers to check those out on rcrwireless.com. We've also got a lot of multimedia content going up on the RCR Wireless YouTube channel, so check that out if you have a chance. And thanks for joining us for this TM Forum Live editorial recap.